Welcome to one of the fastest races in the entire calendar, and while it's one of the newer races on the F1 World Tour, it's already staked its reputation as a fan favourite. It's Jeddah, and it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell, Piastri, Antonelli, Lawson, and Isaac Hadjar, Stroll, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, and Albon, Gasly, Doohan, Ollie Behrman, and Esteban Ocon. Bortoletto, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, DRS is now available. issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
I tried everything there, guys.
Well driven. Best we could have achieved today.
Here's the checkered flag. flag. The fans rise to their feet. It's Lando Norris for victory.
Well, what a drive for them out there today, Crofty. You can see the emotion, you can see what it means to them right now, and they can take this energy that they've created in this race today and move that forward for the others coming their way. Brilliant stuff.
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.